Hey guys, Editing Joker here, and before we get to whatever video I put this in front of, I just want to remind you guys that we are doing another cash prize giveaway for the 2-year anniversary that is coming up. So the link to the Google form that you can fill out will be in the video description. It will be guess all of the units that are coming out for the 2-year Annie between like the free-to-play and summonable protectors, and then the free-to-play and summonable battle units. The instructions will be on the form. The cash prize right now is up to $500, and all you need to do is guess a few characters' names and what their typings will be. So it's fairly simple, but try and do it, right? Because it's free money, right? So be sure to put your answers in the form that's in the description. Have fun with it, and then once the anniversary is, mostly done, we know all the units, I will reach out to whoever wins. There are some other questions on the form as well that you have to answer in order for me to, pay you and contact you. But hey, this is supposed to be fun, right? I like to do these giveaways. I like to reward, my subscribers for, still being here and still playing the game 2 years in. So yeah, let's have some fun, guys. Link in the video description, but let's get on with, like I said, whatever video I put this in front of. Bye, guys. Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And it is time to show Inferno 3. And, technically 2 alternative teams you could use. One of them is not mine, though. It is not my gameplay. It is not my team build. I'm not even going to try it. So, I think we'll lead off with that one, which is the most painful one. So, shout out to whatever YouTuber this is, because I don't know who it is. I can't read Japanese. But he posted this team, and let's go all the way back. Let's give it a quick watch. So he's going to do Inferno 3. This is his alternative team. He's got the Earth Benimaru. He has free-to-play Isis, a 100 Light Shizu, who is skill-fused, so she is giving an 80% chance to guard. Valentine is 120, which was a decision. She is also skill-fused. Youm is only level 100, and only has a 96 Valentine underneath him, so he could be stronger. And then we have a 100 Trainee and a 104 Warrior's Mind Rimuru. I think they both have protection traits, that's why, Rimuru and that Valentine. Trainee is also skill-fused, though, so that means that she's lowering their Pierce power, I think, and also giving that 50% ult resistance, which is going to be pretty impactful. Let me check that real fast to make sure that is exactly her actual kit. Trainee, hold it down. Skill, fuse, and yeah, pierce power, and then ult damage resistance. So you'll take less damage from Dino's ults, which he does back to back multiple times. So that is going to be a very impactful skill right there. But I'm not going to try this team out. This looks like hell. And this is a 40-minute video. So shout out to this Japanese YouTuber, Shimizawa, for doing this and going through this intense, terrible pain. But he goes through it, and he's on turn 24. And he has 3 stacks of vengeance. That is pure pain right there. And I'm sure if he was to get lucky and had good orb changes, and maybe we'll turn that he didn't have to orb change, he could probably use more stacks than that. But, I mean, if we fast forward, he's still at 3 stacks on turn 39. So he's prioritizing his defensive skills and his healing, because he has 3 healers. He's got single target heal from Shizu, who can get you out of, like, Crisis Zone. And then we have 2 AoE healers. And that's probably what he's doing, is that he's just tanking and healing up as much as possible every single turn, so he just doesn't have the skill points to do anything, because he's capped at 100, and while Benimaru does reset skill costs, and does, give you those extra skill points on greens, you are still capped at 100, and you can only do so much with that. So he has to make the most of it, but he's on turn 40. They are down into the red zone, so this is literally just a war of attrition right here. And I give tremendous props to him for sticking with it, because he goes all the way to turn 52. Now he has 9 stacks, because I think now that Dino's not there, he doesn't have as much damage to worry about, so the healing probably took a back seat to put some more stacks on. But if you have this team, and they are skill fused, and they're level 100, sure, and this is the best you've got, then by all means, you can use this strategy, and you can go about and suffer through this. However, I don't recommend it. So, obviously Inferno 3 is the tippity top of difficulty, so not a lot of people are going to be able to do this anyways, and the people who are taking on the stage probably have more units than this. Probably. Not guaranteed, but probably. But I'll put this link into my video description, so you guys can go through it, turn by turn if you want to. But let's move on to the first team that I use, this team. So we've got Velzard, we have got Raphael, Youm, Valentine, Veldora, and Isis. Now, this gameplay was recorded, 1, on my phone to avoid the lag, and 2, before the new Fenrir Shuna came out. So this is just using the 3 units as they were when the meta dropped to clear Inferno 3. So let me pull up that whole kind of format thing that I've got going on. I made a few changes to it, but let's get started. Alright, I didn't know what to put in the rest of the blank space. So there's the team, so you can see their stats and everything as they lived. But we've brought Raphael, obviously, and Youm for the vengeance and the defense. Valentine is here to get us out of any crisis areas with her heal and her orb change. And then Veldora and Isis are here for the orb changes, right? We have a dedicated orange orb changer, 2 dedicated blues, a special convert, a healer, a green buffer, and then the defensive abilities of Youm and Raphael. So generally what happens is that I run with these front 3, right? Youm, Raphael, and Veldora, because we have both orb changes covered, we have the defense. Veldora is on Dragon Hakai, so he is getting that extra 20% stats, and he's wind, so he has type advantage, so he will take less damage than Valentine or Isis, so it works out fairly well. And there is a mission to clear this with like 2 wind units, and this covers it, because Valentine and Veldora are both wind. But, I mean, this is the easiest run that we do, because we just get to 70-something stacks of vengeance, and they kill themselves. It is just surviving and getting decent hands. So, Youm, unfortunately, because he is a lower tier unit, he does have worse stats. He does have more defense, though, than Veldora, but he doesn't have type advantage, so that's why he takes more damage than what Veldora is doing. Even though Veldora is an attack growth unit, and you can see his stats, he's got almost 800 points more or less defense than Youm, but that type advantage is offsetting it. So, if you can get lucky, full hands of greens, double stacks of vengeance every single turn. If you don't get lucky, you do have a lot of orb changers to get yourself out of most scenarios. It's just that, will you have the defensive buffs on the specific units that you need them at the right time? Because here he's going to nuke, and he is sealed, which is good. So we don't have to worry about taking that much damage. But if you had to use all your orb changes, and he's about to ult, and he's got all his buffs, and he's not sealed, is it really a good idea to bring Isis up front because you need that orb change? Or are you going to be okay with just sending like 3 greens and just kind of taking it as you will, instead of trying to mess your hand up, trying to go for that full hand of green, but also potentially getting one of your units killed? Because if they don't have defense, and you have no sealing ability on Dino, he's going to do like half your health on his AoE. He will literally like 2-shot you, and he does ults back to back. So you can't really afford to take a lot of those over and over and over again. And even with the guard, even with the seal, even with the defensive buff, we're still taking damage. It's not a lot, but when you only have 26,000 to work with, and you're taking 700 a hit when you're guarding, not the greatest. So that's why we also brought Valentine, just to give us that extra backup for the heal. It's really unfortunate that her orb change is still 30 cost. It should be 25. They should have fixed that too. But it is what it is. Can't do much about it. So, I mean, we're on turn 5. 31 stacks of Vengeance now. They are sealed. There's another couple stacks. Defense, orb changing, and we'll we go as we go here. There's not much to it, so I think we can just kind of skip forward. Turn 6, turn 7, onto turn 8. So turn 8 is where we kill them, because they take 500,000 damage here now. We're at 60 stacks, and you haven't missed much over the last 2 turns. It's literally the same stuff. So survive, orb change, seal them when they get their ult ready, because, again, you don't want to take that. You want to take as little damage as possible from Dino, so keeping him sealed. Yes, your Vengeance will do slightly less damage, but this isn't Jubilee, right? We're not counting points. We're counting living. That is more important. Having everyone alive while keeping them nerfed is more important. And if you have to go an extra turn because they didn't take as much damage as you wanted them to, fine, whatever. So we're up to 70-something, 73 stacks, and 552k right there, 496, and 529. So there we go. There is the first team. That is like my perfect team. Now, since this is in the future that I'm voicing this over, if you do have the new Fenrir Shuna, you could very easily swap her out, and you can use for like Valentine, and you could use that, so you'd still have the 2 wind units. You wouldn't have that heal, but she would probably take less damage because she's a better unit. She's an EX unit. Yeah, I mean, I've cleared it with her, with this team, minus Valentine, and I've put in Shuna, so it does work. If you don't have Raphael, Inferno 3 is going to be kind of hard, right? Like, if you have everything on this team except Raphael, if you have EX Youm, he could be useful. If you have Trainee, she could be useful to take less damage from the ults. But Raphael is kind of the center point, unless you have a whole bunch of healing or a whole bunch of damage mitigation from other units. But Raphael is kind of important. Obviously you can do it, but it's kind of important. Now let's try my alternate team. Well, the team that I was shown, it's from my mod Blazechain. I stole it from him, and I used it, and I got it done first try. It does require a few things, though, so let's go check it out. Alright, this is the team that I was given by my mod in Discord Blazechain. This is how he cleared Inferno 3 without Raphael. He did pull Velzard, so that's kind of the pivotal point. So Velzard is here, Valentine is here as a healer and a green orb changer, the special convert. Rain, only purpose here is to be the green buffer. If you don't have Rain and you have Isis, use Isis, because I literally only use her for turn 1, and then I don't think I ever use her again. I only need the green buff from her, so she is very easily replaceable. EX Light Youm, on the other hand, is not replaceable. He is 1000% necessary for this team, because if we take a look at his actual kit, he's got defense up to 30% at level 10, and then crit resistance, and this is for 3 turns. This is a 3-turn buff for 25 points. This can take you a long, long way, and will help mitigate a literal crap ton of damage that they do to you, because they have high attack, and they have crit, and they have a lot of crit. So by taking less damage between this skill on 2 different fronts will help you live longer, and he's your orange orb changer at 35 goddamn points, because he's a triple changer, and he's free, quote-unquote, so they made it higher because they're dumb. But also, we have the new free-to-play Youm, right? The Vengeance stacks, the blue orb change, kind of important. That's going to be your main source of damage right here, is Vengeance, and getting as many stacks of Vengeance as physically possible without killing your units, because there are going to be turns here where you need to prioritize a bunch of defense and a bunch of orb changing over getting a few more stacks of Vengeance on. And then we have EX Earth Mjurran, who is also fairly important because she's also a blue orb changer, but also nerfs their attack by up to 25%, also for 3 turns. So, in a perfect world, every 3 turns, you will reactivate the defensive buff from EX Youm and the attack nerf from Mjurran to just reduce the amount of damage that you take. And then we have Valentine here to heal us up if we get into the danger zone. So that's the strategy that we're running. Mjurran's pretty important. Youm is not replaceable. Rain is very replaceable with Isis. Valentine's kind of important, and Youm is also not replaceable. Both Youms need to be on this team if you're going to run this. That is not negotiable. Unless you have Raphael, in which case you're not going to use this team, probably. But let's get started. We're going to speed this up a little bit. We also recorded this on the computer now. That's why I don't have that nice little graphic of the team next to it. But hopefully the speed up will reduce the amount of lag that we actually see. So turn 1, we brought the skill point units up front. I don't know if I talked about that during the intro, but it allows us to use the rain green buff and then the blue orb change with the light free-to-play Youm to give us that full hand of greens turn 1. And now we're going to be off to the races. Unfortunately, here, I would really much rather prefer not to get these kinds of hands, because if we had brought, like, Veldora, like Wind Veldora or something, this would be pretty good, because we could just use the Youm orb change and Veldora orb change, but we can't. And I don't want to use both of these skills, because we need to get the defensive abilities up first. So we've lowered their attack, we've swapped Mjurran out for Valentine. She's going to keep us up front. We're going to put the defensive ability for the defense and the crit resistance. Now we'll put the vengeance on and the physical resistance. I think, yes. So we're going to run with these 4 greens, and then maybe next turn we get pretty lucky, which not really, we don't. So there, we took decent damage there. Youm is taking a beating, which is not great. The free-to-play Youm is our tankiest unit, because he's 120 now. He's on the category. He's getting that extra 20% defense buff from Velzard. So he's a tanky boy. EX Youm, unfortunately, is not. Valentine has type advantage, which helps her out a little bit. But here, we're going to orb change, and we're just going to continue running as if we need to live, which we do need to live. So we healed up. We're going to reset next turn, I think. Why am I watching this all? Must be doing something else. I'm probably playing Dokkan right now or something. There we go. Okay, so Youm is under half HP. Not great. Now he's even lower down. So we gotta keep him healed up. So we gotta reset with Velzard first, and then take stock of what our orbs look like. So we have 2 blues and 3 oranges, which technically after the reset we can make it work because we have our blue orb changer and our orange orb changer up front. But we're not going to heal right now. We're going to go with other things, which I didn't realize that I did. What did I do? We did Vengeance, we did the orb change, and what did we do here? We did the orb change, we did the 2 orb changes and Vengeance, and that's all we had the points for. So that's a good hand right there. That's a very good hand, because it's 3 greens, 2 blues. We can use the free-to-play Youm's orb change without having to worry about it. And then we'll have a full hand. I do want to heal, though. That is a thing. I do want to heal. So I could swap Mjurran out for Valentine. She has the ult, though, and that would kind of ruin this whole turn, right? Do I want to do that? I don't really think I do. All right, defense right there. And then we're actually going to swap Youm out for Valentine and get these guys healed up. Or no, we're not. Okay, we're going to orb change. We're going to Vengeance strike and then add the defense and the crit resistance to Valentine as well. So, okay, whatever. We're going to take an ult from here, which is probably why, because Youm may or may not have lived that ult. Valentine at least has full HP, so Rockfall doesn't do a lot of damage. Guard rate down also doesn't matter. But this is all about getting skill points. Getting skill points is the important part. So here, this turn is a little bit meh. But now they've started to take Vengeance Strike, which means that we will continually do more and more damage to them. We're going to convert, heal, and then Vengeance. And now we have another full hand plus an ult. This works out fairly well. And this is like my second attempt. So it didn't take too many attempts. However, my units are like level 100. And this is the counterattack turn. And those aren't really what I want my Valentine to take, because she's a little low. But it is what it is. And this hand looks out pretty well as well. Pretty good also, I guess is the term. But I don't want to use Youm's Orb Change, because I actually don't want him up front right now, because we still have that defensive buff. So what do we do here? I think we swap someone out and bring in that blue. I don't really remember though. So we're going to heal, we're going to Vengeance again, just to keep us, you know, as topped up as possible. And then... Okay, I just send the Valentine Orbs. Yeah, I just recorded this like 20 minutes ago, and I already forget what I've done. I should probably eat dinner. Okay. So this turn 7. We kill on turn 9, by the way, which is interesting to think about, because that's what we killed on, what, turn 8 with the full meta team? It goes to show, like, if you can get lucky and you can get some good RNG, then things will work out for you. Alright, let's bring Youm in for Valentine. Let's use his Orb Change to get the full hand of greens, get the maximum protection gauge, and then let's bring... Do we bring Rain in? Yeah, we bring Rain in so we can avoid taking that full powered ult. This is going to hurt, though, because Mjurran doesn't have the defense buff. We only have the attack nerf, and Rain doesn't have the defense buff either. So yeah, 10k, that right there made me clench up a little bit, because she is literally a nut tap away, a boob punch away from dying. But here, it works out, because we can swap Valentine in, and that takes away that extra blue, so we can then use her convert, we can heal, and then we can use another stack of Vengeance as well. And then I think if they don't die this turn, they die the next turn. So we healed up Mjurran, but then we swapped her out because Youm does have the defense, and he's got slightly higher HP. So that was the better option of bringing him in rather than leaving Mjurran in there. 1 damage from Valentine isn't great. It isn't great, but again, our damage isn't coming from normal orbs and all. It's coming from Vengeance, which we're now up to 59 stacks. And there, Dino's dead, Dagger's dead, Carrion's dead. Congratulations. We cleared Inferno 3 with only one summonable meta unit, being Velzard, who is one of the most important units, but it's still possible. You just need the 2 free-to-play EX units you can only pull from tickets. You need Valentine as a healer, or, I mean, I guess you could bring any healer, but like, if you have a 100 skill-fused trainee, she might be better, because she'll help you take less damage. And she can heal. You just don't have that special green convert. And then Rain is replaceable with Isis. Other than that, the last 3 units are pretty necessary, along with the Protector. So there's technically 3 teams that you can use to clear Inferno 3. If you have a different team than what that Japanese player had or what I've shown you, please let me know in the comments. But that's it from me. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you later.